Okay. So 2 days ago in the video, the 10th chapter of the Nero utility scale Neros series. So I spoke about the fact that since quite some time that I knew that my P contain Neros, of course, and I use my P in many in all sort of experiments, and I know that it was evident that it helps like the creation of life. And but I also said that I didn't know how to actually store it, but like lately it came back to my forefront that yes, I should do it, even if just so the Israelis will not like get their hands on it. The problem is that yes, it's accumulated very quickly. Like at least at least a liter a day. If not something like that. And I need to think how to remove the water from it. And I said that boiling it is not a good idea because you lose. It evaporates, and the Neros. They are all. At least the small ones are evaporating. This was demonstrated in the past, not with specifically with boiling, but with electrolysis that creates heat and steam, and so it was seen that when it was open container with kind of like a cover, and then some of the water, some of the some of the material condensed back to water and fell to outside into a container that was that was surrounding the container where the electrolysis actually take place. So so you've got it was demonstrated that the liquid that was condensed was kind of relatively pure, with no life forms or all sorts of other things, pure liquid with many small Neros. This was actually something very nice to see. But so it means that it can be a way to actually to purify mixtures, but it's not really good. If you just want to lose a water volume, because you can lose the Neros on the way. I also mentioned that one of the problems with pee is that it smells like pee. So, and if you start the electrolysis with mixture that contains large percentages of pee, and I've done it so quite a bit in the past, so it's only getting worse with each electrolysis kind of the smell of the pee doesn't is not reduced with after electrolysis. It's only getting more stinkier with every time, and after a week you need to throw everything because it's so disgusting. It might be, famously the stinky substance in pee is ammonia. It's true for humans, and probably it's also true for myself. Pee is pee. We all know how pee smells. We've all been in public urinators, so yeah, it's pee. So probably it's ammonia, and maybe maybe what's happening is that the ammonia is replicated inside the electrolysis chamber, by the Neros. Maybe some of the things they do is that they replicate ammonia because it exists inside the material, and maybe that's what I've done unintentionally. One of the byproducts of the electrolysis, the main electrolysis experiment was increasing the ammonia concentration in the liquid, which makes it smellier and disgusting. So you would want to eliminate the smell when you start electrolysis, and in a more general sense, you would want to remove both the H2O, but also probably you would want to either reduce ammonia or eliminate the smell, maybe using other ways, maybe by making the ammonia, creating different molecules from the ammonia that does not smell that bad. I have no idea how it can happen, but I do know that using some homebrew options. Several months ago I actually managed to significantly reduce the smell of pee, because I had also sort of homebrew experiments. So there are ways to do it. Now maybe if the ammonia is actually became not available, maybe it's kind of it reduces the potency of the mixture, because presumably there can be ammonia-based life forms, so it can be perhaps ammonia is good to create life I mean, Israel is full of ammonia-based life form. I mean, it's actually arguably the dominant, type of humanoids here are ammonia-based life form. But I mean, so maybe it's kind of like a good material. But I mean, what's more important is to be able to keep the Neros that are the important material, and to extract it from the P and to save so it not be lost. So what I will probably do is that I will try again to use this kind of home brews to reduce the smell. Now, after the smell is reduced, what I can do is to either use electrolysis again, because electrolysis, it breaks the H2O to H2O2, so you lose oxygen, hydrogen, and oxygen, which is good, because the volume is reduced significantly, which is good. But I thought that maybe it's even that is not really needed, or maybe this could be used in together with another option that is to add quite a bit of oil to the mixture, and this is something that I've done quite a bit in the past. Mostly the mixture that containing Neros contains oil because it was demonstrated that they are saved much better in oil. It was demonstrated many times. Now you have two options. You can use either liquid oil, like canola oil, or olive oil, or you can use wax, which is beeswax, which is also great. If you use beeswax, is better to melt it first and then put it in the water, and just like oil, it floats. It's resolidified to a nice layer on the top. Actually, even better than oil, because you have very solid mixture that is very well preserves the Neros very, very well. And maybe if I do so, I can, and then remove the oil or the wax. Maybe I will see that the water that is left, actually, you can see out of the microscope, maybe it contains very little Neros, and maybe either I can just throw it away, or use the electrolysis on it. But most of the Neros are already kept, so I feel like I don't have this fear of losing it by the process of electrolysis. Now, another thing that could be done and was done in the past, then to combine it to build a big magnet inside the electrolysis chamber. This was done in the past, and it helps, it increases the efficacy of electrolysis, and also it draws the Neros. The Neros, they are attracted to the magnet, and they also, because of the electrolysis, they are ionized. So they are even more so attracted to the magnet. And they can actually, even live inside the magnet, inside the metal, which is great. So all of this can be tested, and of course the objective is not to lose any of the P, and also of course now all the bodily fluids, the semen, the P, should be here. Now another kind of thing that I need to do, just to understand, is to see what's inside the eggs. We have many eggs here, you see, both eggs, and also plutonium and uranium. Sculptures of eggs and sculptures of plutonium and uranium. So it's gonna be nice to actually see what's inside, to break one of it and to see what's inside. Maybe I'll do it later. Maybe you will be surprised, and we actually will see in one of the eggs, we'll actually see a real egg of full metal jacket, or maybe another animal, and maybe even a living thing. Who knows? Maybe you will see a miracle where I break a sculpture made of clay of egg, and you see out of it arrives a new insect made of metal. This could be great if we can actually take it get it in camera. Now some people ask, okay, so you understand that you are abused as a replicator of radioactive material, and that's why you suffer, and that you know that people are feeding you radioactive material against your will for many years, and that you are used and abused, and that's one of the reasons why you were kept as farm animal, to get it from you. And so now yes, of course I understand it more than ever, and of course, I mean, I don't want it to happen, so I'll keep like my pee with me, and presumably in the process that I already described, the radioactive material will also be accumulated because I don't see why it should be lost. I mean, because of electrolysis or any other kind of a thing. Maybe even just just even increase like in size, like in mass, because I mean there will be the Neros will lose the energy to create more of the radioactive material. I mean, the fact that it can be done is, it's the fact of my life. I mean, it's not arguable. There is no arguing. They can do it, and they do it, and the Israelis, depend on the fact that they do it, and they sell the stuff abroad. That's a fact. Now, the question is what we want to do with the radioactive material after. First of all, I don't know even how to identify it. I mean, maybe it's going to be easy, like it's going to be like a dust or something, or maybe it's going to be very difficult to actually identify that it's there. In any case, so some people ask me, do you want to create like atomic bomb? So no. It's a funny question. I remember that. That's maybe one of the first, if not the first thing that I've ever seen in the internet is like like a document how to create atomic bomb. I remember that. It was maybe I was 10 years old, no, maybe 11. Like it was 1996. I was 12, maybe 12 years old, 1996. And it wasn't in my apartment. I was like in my friend's house, and he was like already connected to the internet. So, it was all very, very new, 96 or maybe it's 13, it is 97, but no, not after 97. So it was very new. So, he had like a browser, I don't remember what, and kind of like, so I asked like, so what can you do here? So he told me you can you can search for the documents that will instruct you instruction like how to create atomic bomb. So I said, great, let's do it. So so we searched whatever, and we were able to download the of course English document with instructions, like detailed instructions of how to create atomic bomb. So this is the first thing that I've ever done in the internet. Yes, before porn, but not much before. Porn was probably the second thing. But yes, the first thing was atomic bomb. So I'm certain it's possible, because the atomic bombs are not that complicated. At least the simple ones. The difficult thing is to get your hands on on like specific isotopes of uranium or and plutonium. But it's not going to be very difficult, like for me to get my hands on it, because it seems that I am currently the main source of this stuff like in the world. So in general it's difficult, but for me probably it's not difficult at all. But the thing is that atomic weapons are not are kind of silly, because not just because they're weapons and kind of make life not war, but also because they create like a lot of like destruction, but in a very inefficient way, because it's kind of it's all like it's like a bomb, so it detonates. So most of the energy is released like in the center, and it's like so it's probably not exactly like that, but probably you lose energy, at least like to the power of 3 of the radius, like, so as the radius increases, so that may change even if you are malevolent in your intentions. Again, my understanding is that the best course of action and also the most efficient is with regards to my own political project of stopping my abuse and torture, and also the political project of upgrading the sentient races in this planet, is through, again, like the tier list, videos, like nerfing and buffing. This is kind of this is what we do. So it's not always do what we do, but it's a major kind of thing. Not only among nations, like as I said before, like you need to buff like the Soviets, or buff nerf the Soviets, nerf the Americans, things like that. But also, among animals, like just in the tier list video, like the tier zoo video. So and you see I'm already doing it for quite some time. I mean, at least like 6-7 months. I mean, I create worms and of course microbes, and now you see like the full metal jacket, which is a huge step forward. So my idea is to use the radioactive material for the benefit of the new life forms, because some life forms can actually be benefited immensely from this stuff. Not me or not the Titans, of course. This is just stupid, and I've said many times, but it's torture and stupid and cruelty. But I mean, some other life forms are actually, I mean, can benefit a lot from it, and in two ways, both like in the process of creating these life forms, like I mean, the radioactive material can be used for mutations. Now again, it's not like you see in the many movies that I mean you throw like radioactive material to the sewer, and I mean, and like after a month you come back and you see like I mean 4 turtles start learning karate from like a very old rat. It's not like that. I mean, even though it could have been like nice if it was like that. I really like the 1990 movies. I think I've seen it in cinema and it was amazing, and also the sequel. So, but no, it's not like that. But I mean, when it's combined with robots that are incredibly smart and can use this kind of radioactive material, it can help like to create new life forms. But what is even more interesting is to actually create life forms that can use this material as for feeding, which means like I mean create essentially not an atomic bomb but atomic nuclear reactor. But preferably not one, but maybe million or billion like that. Like I mean, billion like small reactors that I mean can fly or swim or run, but best fly. And maybe we already have, I mean, I can't prove it, but maybe I mean we already have one. Like I mean, it's difficult to prove it. In order to prove it, I will actually need to get my hands on things that I can demonstrably prove to you that there is radioactive material, and to like I mean to get a hungry metal jacket, like the ones that you've seen in the various videos, like and to show you how he or she eats that, like it eats that. So it's going to be difficult to prove it, but maybe you've already seen like such a specimen, like a flying nuclear reactor. Anyway, whether it's happened or not, it surely is possible, and this will be a great usage and a much more productive usage in, you know, the kind of like abstract, I mean, you know, kind of like, you know, villainish, like I mean, like idea of like creating atomic like bombs in your cellar, like you kind of like I mean, you know, like I don't know, a James Bond villain. But I mean, it's stupid. Like I mean, it's much more realistic and makes more sense and much more benevolent to create like life forms like you know insects and bees and wasps that are I mean their body is kind of like a nuclear reactor, and that they can digest I mean radioactive isotopes and like use it like as a source of energy for themselves. This is kind of like a much more realistic and much more, I would say, like the grown-up approach to this problem. So that's that's going to be my kind of like my long-term project with regards both to like how to preserve the pee and to make use of it, and also how to use radioactive isotopes in a way that the Earth will benefit from and not, you know, will not be like, destructive to the Earth.